Good morning. This is Anka Metcalf with TradeOutLoud.com, and this is the pre-market game plan for today, for Tuesday, October 4th, and it is 8:56 a.m. Eastern Time. Yesterday, we talked about these market indices, NQES and YM, and we said that if they break this 70 level yesterday, they have room to retrace. However, the 200 moving average is somehow going to hold this area, and it might find support because we're in a very strong trend and we're testing prior support areas and prior minor support areas before continuing higher, because we are bullish biased, right? The market is very, very strong. We're entering the third quarter. October is actually a very volatile month, historically speaking, and we're expecting a lot of follow through because the price is not giving up. So shorts are not really in order, but you could also take shorts if you're a scalper. But if you're a trend trader, wait for the pullback. And yesterday you saw that you had to wait a little bit into 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock, boom, reversal time. It went to the upside, came back down, and 10:30, around 10:30, close to, let me just put the cursor here, around 10:30, took it back down and it stabilized. That's when the time between 10:30 and close to noon, the price stabilized right here at 4842.80. We did talk about the 4850 area as a possible area of support. We also talked about this area yesterday as well, and we have, once again, this is going to be considered the area of support for today moving forward. However, we did have a really nice bounce throughout the day yesterday, and we finished up. We also continued through the Asian session and into the London Open at 3 a.m. Eastern Time. The price took off, challenged these prior highs right here, and we are set for another continuation, most probably higher into today. We don't have any other economic releases that might impact one way or the other the market. So therefore, if we have an established trend, more likely these indices are going to continue higher. So what do we have our workable area for today? Well, first of all, we're going to consider this 4867 area support. So this is support means your stop for going long. So if you're going to consider a long position, if you want to consider it with confirmation, you might get it into 70 or even 72, 73. If you're looking at a smaller time frame, you might get a tighter stop. But remember, if you want to get into a trade before the New York session opens, you got to give a little bit of wiggle room, because you're going to have these spikes. I mean, look what happens at 3 a.m. and look what happens, when you're getting a lot of volatility. So a lot of volatility steps in at 9:30, and that might wiggle you out of the trade. That's why I'm most likely, if I get in a trade pre-market, I like to get in at about 8 o'clock or 7:30 in the morning Eastern Time, and kind of like be done by 9:30, or I leave it at, I give it like an open stop, a soft stop, so a place where I have a mental stop, but I give it just a wiggle room so I don't get stopped out of the trade. So if we should test this area again of 4867, this may be considered another buy area, because we're very, very strong and we have another cushion of support. So 4867 and 4864. So if this area is going to hold, or even 4870, if this 4870 is going to hold, a buy over 4875 is possible. Look for targets into 80, and this is only, like I mentioned, this is only for the first 2 hours of trading. So this is why our formula works so great, okay? Because it focuses on this time frame, and we're working with information, little pieces at a time. So look for further continuation into 4894 and 4892, 4892.25. This is going to be our last target for today. If we should get some continuation, if we should get some market enthusiasm, look for the 4,900 number. And obviously, this is going to be, it's only 20 points away actually from our target one level. So look for further continuation into 4,900 where you have another resistance area. So first target is 80. The second target is going to be 48.92. And the third target is going to be 4,900. Okay, couldn't be easier than that. Okay, YM and NQ remains very, very bullish. YM is pulling in right now a little bit, so we didn't have that enthusiasm as NQ did. And NQ had a lot of motive to continue higher yesterday, but YM was a little on the quiet side. It was, and again, NQ, I should remind you all, NQ is my favorite trade for today, so if we should pop higher, NQ is my trade. We have support level in YM at 113. We established that area very, very thorough yesterday. So we kind of like based into that area for the morning session, for the morning hours, and we continued until 1 p.m. till when the price picked up. We moved higher. We stabilized here at this resistance area. You could see it from these peaks right here. It's all about putting everything together in trading. And we also have the 200 period moving average. We see the price sliding a little bit here. So we had a really nice pop at the open, at the London Open, and now we're correcting. Well, you know what? This is the first area of support, 64. The fact that it broke this support level and it's sliding all the way into the secondary support level, which is at 52. All right, so for today, write it down. YM support 18,152. If this area holds, this is a buy right there into that area. If this area is put a tight stop, 3 points, 5 points, I would give it a 5 to 6 point stop, and look for further continuation into 18,200. This is going to be your first semi trend trade for the day. If this area is not going to hold, look for a short on 18,150 and look for a target 18,123. If the price should continue lower, look for 18,100. Other than that, look for buy opportunity here right at the bottom at 150 and look for a continuation into 200, into 225, into 250, and all the way into these peaks right here at 18,282. Next one is ES. So for ES, ES is still battling a lot of resistance. These tops right here, 2167. We talked about these tops right here yesterday. We did have more sideways action in ES than YM. We did establish a support level at noon at 2146, from which we've bounced. So you please note here that we have two higher lows that are peaking up. And also, we remain neutral through the Asian session, European session open. Volatility stepped in, spiked it higher. We made a little higher. We went a little higher into 2159 area, and then we pulled back. Okay, so sharp reversal right here, testing this area of support right here at 55. So this area was critical. We're giving up some of this accumulated green from yesterday and from the European session as well. So we're giving up. We do still have a secondary level of support here at 2152. And if this area is going to hold, we can look for more upside. But if this area is going to be challenged, 2152, we may come back into 2146 again throughout the day today. So it all remains in this area right here. So we're going to see how the New York session is going to decide to take price. So remember, we got a spike up and then traders gave up everything. Okay, so the price gave up everything. So went up and then full retracement. Complete 100% retracement right here. So went up and back down, testing support right here, which puts us in neutral territory for ES. Okay, so this is, I have to say this must be one of the toughest calls in ES, so I'm not going to trade ES today. GC. Like I said yesterday, we had some economic releases, and yesterday I was talking about the 1312 area as being an area of support, and if this area of support is not going to hold, then 1300 is going to be our target. So now that we're trading into below that area, what can we expect from GC? So we had a sharp fall right here at 8 o'clock Eastern time, and we broke this area at 1309, sharply went to the downside. We just made a low of 1291. What's in store for GC right now for gold? Well, first off, there's no trade right now. It's very extended. It moved very, very far from the first breakdown area, so it needs a little bit of time to stabilize. So if we weren't able, I was talking to you guys when actually this happened, and when this sharp decline started, and it actually started. The decline started earlier. Started at about 7, was it like 7:30 or so, it fell again from 8 o'clock. It fell again from 8 o'clock. So this is not something that I like trading, especially here when you are sitting on tons of daily and weekly support area. But we're coming in, and the next target that I see a GC trade into is very far away, and that is 1283. Okay, so it's 1283. Obviously, like in July and in August, it reached some weekly peaks that I see here on my weekly chart. Found a lot of resistance. Now it's coming back in. So gold, it's going to be a very, very tough call. I would say if you like to trade gold, look for a pullback into 1300. And see if this 1300 area holds. If this area is not going to hold, then this is going to be the turnaround. So look for a short in this area into the 1300, or look for a further retracement into 1305, I would say. So this would be the areas that I would look for a trade. Other than that, I'm just going to leave it alone, let it trade, let the price stabilize. Last but not least, oil. And oil is popping higher, is doing actually a really nice rounded bottom here on the hourly chart, is right about to take off this prior high of 49.02 from yesterday's trading session, and it's actually looking pretty good right now. So wait for the price to stabilize, and remember, it's into not into an hourly resistance area, but it's also into a weekly resistance and a daily resistance. So it has room to continue higher. The next target is going to be obviously $50. That's the next resistance area. But have patience with it. And if you want to trade CL, I think it has more upside. But what I would suggest, trade the 2-minute chart. And so far, the 2-minute chart is not offering us any kind of entries because we have this jump up, and from when the pit opened at 9 o'clock, 48.64 around that area, 48.63, it jumped all the way and made this high to 48.95. So wait for it to pull back, wait for it to settle. And don't remember that today there are some inventories that are coming out at the end of the day. I think they're coming out at 4 o'clock or 4:30. And then tomorrow we have oil numbers at 10:30. Okay, so this was all for today. Thank you so much for joining, and don't forget that our next futures class is scheduled for October 15th. 15th to the 21st, and we have a comprehensive educational piece on the 15th and the 16th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Time, and Trading Lab 17th to the 21st. If you're interested in learning more about our course, visit our website, tradeoutloud.com/futures. You can learn more about the futures class. And if you want to hear more about the outline, if you want to hear more about what we're going to discuss in the trading lab and what we're teaching in the 2-day comprehensive class, you can email me at info@tradeoutloud.com. I hope you all have a very profitable trading day.